for appointments. And I'm not very happy about that.
I would say probably the pay is something that people talk about the most, is equal pay and getting paid more and things to that effect. But I still think that everybody deserves to be, just as far as getting paid, I think that they deserve to be more in specific fields. Like me, I'm going to be a teacher, and I think maybe teachers deserve to get paid more. But hey, it's okay.
We try to support all the workers that live down here, but it's kind of a challenge these days, you know, because they're working under a lot of stress.
So Labor Day, it may not be Christmas and there's no fireworks going off, but it's a day to take a step back and reflect. It's a celebration of you, the worker. Here in Palm Desert, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
All right, thanks to Brett for that report tonight. And because it is Labor Day, some of you may have taken a road trip for the weekend, and there's some good news out of that. Gas prices are at its lowest Labor Day level since 2021 in Riverside County. The average price of a self-serve gallon of gasoline is around $4.48. AAA and the Oil Price Information Service confirming the price has increased by 15 cents over the past 12 days, but 14 cents less than 1 year ago today. AAA also says they have advice for anyone still traveling on the road during this holiday.
Expect that traffic congestion, especially on freeways like the 10 freeway, the 5 freeway. It's important to remember that distractions are usually one of the top reasons why we see so many crashes on the road. So just make sure you avoid all distractions at all times.
Experts also say identifying the cheapest gas station, most fuel-efficient route, and keeping your windows closed while driving can help improve mileage and save you some money.
Speaking of gas, a new Walmart gas station is coming to the city of Indio. It's going to be the first in the eastern Coachella Valley. The city's planning commission approved the construction in a close vote back on August 27th. They're hoping to draw in drivers who are traveling along the 10 freeway. The station will be located next to the Indio Walmart Supercenter. No other details have been released.
And let's go ahead and take a live look outside our Agua Caliente casino camera, downtown Palm Springs, where hopefully we had some Labor Day visitors this weekend shopping local, supporting our businesses. It was a hot one. If you're out there, maybe a good time to head to the patio. Now let's check in with Kai Beach. He has our 3-day forecast for us. Kai?
Happy Labor Day, everyone, and happy start of September. We are seeing above average temperatures to start off this new month. First of all, let's take a look at today's highs. Palm Desert 114, Thousand Palms 112, up the hill Joshua Tree 101, and Big Bear City 82 degrees. Nothing on the radar right now, but that will change as we head deeper into the work week. We will see temperatures start to drop. Humidity will start to rise. Now, we do have a heat advisory across parts of the Inland Empire and our valley and mountain communities. So never leave your kids or pets in unattended vehicles. Drink lots of water. And remember, if the ground is too hot for your hand, it is definitely too hot for your pet's paws. Tonight's evening stroll is going to be a warm one. 6 o'clock, 107 degrees. By 10, we are under triple digits, and at midnight, 96 degrees. A lot of people heading to the coast. Take a look at this graphic from the National Weather Service. You're going to see some big waves out there. Orange County sets up to 7 feet. So if you're not a good swimmer, best to stay out of the water. Or if you're mediocre swimmer, always swim near a lifeguard. Wind gusts right now, pretty calm. Palm Springs International, 6 miles an hour. Whitewater, we're looking at 8 miles an hour. A lot of people leaving the valley this time of year. This is the weather they're going back to. Denver, the mile-high city, 86 degrees. Dallas, 88. Could see some flash floods. Minneapolis, Minnesota, just under 80. And in San Francisco, 76 degrees. 3-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Tuesday's the day we're going to start to see that monsoonal moisture increase. We could see some thunderstorms, lightning, and rain in our high desert communities, and those overnight lows are in the mid to low 80s. Full forecast coming up in just a bit.
2 horses and a rider were killed last night. It happened along Highway 371 in Anza. Authorities confirming today that a vehicle crashed into them around 9 o'clock near Bailiff Road. The woman rider has been identified as Monique Morton of Anza. She was pronounced dead at the scene. The 2-lane highway was partially shut down as authorities investigated. It remains unknown tonight if the horses died from the collision or from euthanization. There are currently no details on the state of the motorist.
Martha's Village and Kitchen's Child Development Center continues to expand this summer. The group is looking to raise $680,000 to provide children in need with scholarships. Currently, they've raised $13,000, so still a ways to go to reach their goal. The money will also help purchase classroom materials and opportunities for families working towards financial stability by doubling the capacity of these resources. If you'd like to make a donation to their expansion project, you can visit our newsroom page of our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Costco's controversial new shopping policy officially takes effect today. Back in June, the warehouse chain allowed shoppers who had executive memberships to enter the store from 9 in the morning till 10 in the morning during the week. That meant other customers had to wait until after 10 a.m. to shop. The company said the policy was not strictly enforced, but now Costco says its grace period has ended, and that policy will take effect today. Keep in mind the store is closed today, so it really is in effect for tomorrow. But some customers, we're told, are not happy with this change. They say the company is favoring its higher-paying members and alienating the rest.
A major Verizon service outage across the country has been resolved. At least 22,000 outages were reported this weekend on the disruption tracker website called Down Detector. Most users who lost service saw an SOS display at the top of their screen. The cities most impacted: New York, Boston, Tampa, Miami, and Chicago. The San Francisco Chronicle reporting Verizon said the outage was because of a software issue.
Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy once again. The company filed for Chapter 11 protection last Friday. It comes months after its last restructuring, which was in March. It's the second time this year Spirit has filed for bankruptcy. The carrier has been losing money since its failed JetBlue merger. Spirit executives say rising losses, tariffs, reduced demand, and weak fares have added pressure. The airline says passengers will not see service or ticketing interruptions during the bankruptcy process.
And new at 6 o'clock tonight, a tragic accident has left a local family struggling to rebuild their taco business.
Tonight, reporter Antonio Marquez shows us how the community is coming together to support them and what's next for the family.
That's right. In just seconds, everyone's life changed. And now the family business faces obstacles moving forward after this tragedy. On Thursday, August 21st, a white Toyota Corolla ran a stop sign at the intersection of 52nd Avenue and Cajon Street, crashing into a utility pole before striking the pickup truck of Fernando Solorzano. The force of the impact pushed the truck more than 15 feet down the road and into the family's taco trailer. The driver of the Corolla later died from injuries sustained in the crash. Fernando Solorzano and his wife, Lourdes Tamayo, were knocked unconscious and continued to deal with lingering pain from the collision.
Ya cuando me pude levantar, andaba toda mareada, ya miré la traila levantada para arriba. Quise salir.
Lourdes Tamayo just remembers trying to get up, and as she exited the trailer, took a fall after misjudging how far down the floor was, since the trailer was at an angle.
Entonces no tuvimos la culpa, lo sentimos mucho también.
Mr. Solorzano also explained how beyond the physical injuries, this accident has created financial hardships for the family. Their taco truck, which is their main source of income, was severely damaged and is out of commission. Now, a GoFundMe campaign has been set up to support the Solorzano family with medical bills and to help get their business back on its feet. Despite the setbacks, Mr. Solorzano says their dreams are only pause, not over. The family is grateful for any support as they navigate this difficult time, and he will continue his business at a smaller scale for now to try to overcome all the expenses. Visit the GoFundMe page if you would like to help the family. Antonio Marquez, NBC Palm Springs.
Our thanks to Antonio for that report tonight. Coming up next on NBC Palm Springs, could we be in a national housing emergency? More on what the Trump administration may declare this fall.
Plus, you have less than 2 hours for a chance at Powerball history. We have details on tonight's soaring jackpot. That's next.
And your gold and silver prices on this Monday, Labor Day holiday. Stay with us. Those stories right after the break.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 6.
Welcome back. It's no secret tourism is the desert's biggest industry.
During this Labor Day, local businesses are celebrating the people who keep it going. Here's Kai Beach.
It's the bread and butter of this local economy. Everyone wants to come and visit this beautiful desert.
Across the Coachella Valley, tourism is the largest industry, supporting 1 in 4 local jobs. And this Labor Day, a local winemaker and hotel teamed up to honor the workers behind it.
This sense of pride with the team and all the things that our team accomplishes here. They come in, day out, every single day, focused on creating guest experiences.
David Putnicki, general manager of Hotel Paseo, says from bartenders to housekeepers, these employees keep the valley's biggest industry thriving.
They do a flawless job on it, and it's just an honor to be able to work alongside them here every day.
The industry of service is very important to the Coachella Valley economically.
Herman, owner of Lafay Wine Bar and Mas Vino Wines, sponsored this event, saying gratitude is everything.
The valley is an area where we have a lot of restaurants, a lot of hotels, a lot of visitors from out of town. And what we're doing today is actually trying to showcase an appreciation, get together, kind of mingle and, share our ideas and our experiences.
Tourism pumps more than $9 billion into the regional economy. This according to Visit Greater Palm Springs. And because it's such a vital part of our desert's livelihood, industry leaders say this celebration of workers should continue well after Labor Day. I'm Kai Beach for NBC Palm Springs.
As we head around the country, the Trump administration is considering declaring a national housing emergency this fall. That's according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. He told the Washington Examiner that such a move would be part of Republicans' midterm strategy to focus on housing affordability. He added GOP leaders are trying to figure out their strategy, but the federal government doesn't want to, quote, step into the business of states, counties, and municipal governments. Some housing issues they suggested might be addressed include standardizing building codes and lowering closing costs.
The Powerball jackpot has grown to a staggering $1.1 billion. Comes after no one correctly matched all 6 numbers Saturday night. The next drawing is in a few hours. It's going to be the 5th largest prize if someone wins it in the history of the game. The chances of winning tonight's drawing, lottery officials say it's roughly 1 in 292 million.
President Trump is requesting pharmaceutical companies release COVID drug success rates to the public. The demand comes amid the recent tensions between the CDC and the Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. On Truth Social, the president wrote that he has seen information from pharmaceutical companies that has never been released to the public. He didn't specify what data he would like to be released or the specific drugs he's referring to.
On this Monday evening, we're giving you a live look from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Kai Beach is in tonight, and he's got the details on our early week forecast. That's when we come right back. Don't go anywhere. So happy that you're joining us here on this Labor Day. You're looking live from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera in Rancho Mirage. For the latest on the forecast for the early part of this work week, we're going to send things over to Kai Beach.
Happy Monday, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying your long Labor Day weekend. As for the weather today, the day's high is 111 degrees. Normally, we're 106 or above average, but not near that record high of 121 degrees. Highs across the valley today. West End, Palm Desert 114, East End, Indio 112, up the hill Joshua Tree 101, and Idlewild looking warm as well. We're looking at low 90s over there. Cabazon, tonight's low temps 77 degrees for that bargain shopping at the outlets. Palm Springs 87, and in 29 Palms, thank you so much for your service. We're looking at low 80s. For tomorrow, Palm Springs temperature does drop. Humidity's gonna start to rise. Now, a lot of people trying to beat the heat and celebrate Labor Day at the coast. If you go there, you're gonna find some relief, but you're also gonna find some big waves. We're looking at sets up to 7 feet, so be careful if you're out in the water. Remember, 4th of July holiday, Newport Beach lifeguards, they made hundreds, that's right, hundreds of rescues. Now, if you get caught in a rip current, here's how to survive, relax, stay calm, swim following the coastline, and if you can't reach the shore, call or wave for help. High temps for tomorrow. Temperatures do start to drop. Banning, Beaumont, Cabazon, all in the 90s. We're going to take a look at Idlewild in the 80s, and 29 Palms and Yucca Valley up the hill, both in the 90s as well. Tomorrow's morning walk forecast, it's going to be warm, it's going to be humid. 6 o'clock, 86 degrees. By 8 o'clock, low 90s, 10 o'clock, high 90s, and by noon, we are above triple digits. For Tuesday, hot and humid. High pressure system mixed with some monsoonal moisture. That's going to make things very uncomfortable over the next few days. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast brought to you by Comfort Air. Tuesday, 102. Temperatures do start to drop, however, Friday and Saturday under that triple digit mark, and those overnight lows from low 80s to high 70s.
NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos. We have your game.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Caitlin Kelly. Tim O'Brien has the night off. Over the Labor Day weekend, hoopers from the Southland as well as from around the country came to the desert to compete in the Palm Springs Labor Day kickoff basketball tournament. I had the chance to head out to Palm Springs earlier today and catch some of the action and speak with Hoops 24/7 tournament director Anthony Nichols.
Labor Day tournament is an event that's been happening out here in the Coachella Valley for the last 20 years. It's an event that brings in youth teams from third grade all the way up to high school varsity basketball out to the desert for a weekend of fun and kind of vacation and basketball all wrapped into one, right? Being able to bring youth basketball to Southern California in a way that makes sense, especially out here in this historic area, right, of the Coachella Valley, really being able to highlight everything the desert has to offer the community, but be able to bring some competitive basketball from people across the region. Orange Vista High School, and they played against Holy Marts from Glendale, which it was a really competitive game. Came down to the final seconds of that game and ended with Orange Vista taking the championship.
The Labor Day kickoff tournament is only the beginning. With the holiday season fast approaching, we're only a few short months away from one of the nation's top high school basketball tournaments, the Desert Holiday Hoop Classic. As that tournament approaches, we'll have full coverage because the Hoop Classic always brings the nation's top D1 recruits to the 760. So stay tuned for that. That'll do it for sports. I'm Caitlin Kelly.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Detectives from different worlds work together to solve crimes drawn from a best-selling series of novels. David Daniel has a look.
The eldest son's supposed to take over, which makes me next in line. 8th Earl of Ashton.
D.I. Linley, take it from here.
Barbara Havers is your assigned Diaz.
You should have seen how things ended with last D.I.
The high-born detective inspector and his working-class sergeant are back to take on new cases in Linley.
Don't you just ever go with your guard?
Havers!
No.
Leo Suter and Sophia Barclay star in the new series based on Elizabeth George's novels, following up the popular Inspector Linley mysteries that ran 2 decades ago.
There was an element of how wonderful to have such a vast resource. But actually, if we're going to do our own thing and forge our own path, you kind of have to respect it, leave it to one side, and then plow on.
Do you see her eyes? She would not look at us. She's hiding something.
She isn't even a suspect yet, and she isn't under caution. One step at a time, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Writer Steve Thompson worked with the stars to make this a truly new Linley.
The world has been updated, and Steve's done an amazing job of setting up Britain that really reflects, I think, a modern day Britain. And those two characters have to change to really live in this world. And that's where we came in and got to be fresh and got to be new and got to play around with it a bit more.
The kind of way that Tommy Linley might, in the previous series and previous books, in that world, could be so brazen about his aristocracy and the fact that he's the son of an earl. That's different in a contemporary 21st century Britain.
So you two know each other then?
Alan and I were at Oxford together.
I think you might have mentioned Oxford a couple of times.
They have so many layers. They have secret lives. They have histories and pasts that are bleeding into their futures and their presents.
That's all right. We got to finish this case, you and me.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
You are looking at the world record holder for the largest amount of Crocs. His name is Doogie Sand Tiger, which is an impressive name to begin with, but have to listen to this. At age 16, he started wearing these fashion favorites. He's collected them ever since. Pair by pair, he worked to set the Guinness Book of World Records, and in November of 2024, he did just that, 3,569 pairs. But that number has continued to grow. As of today, he's got 3,809 pairs of Crocs, and the number is still going up. Led him to be featured in the latest version of the Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow, that is quite the collection, and each one's unique. You can have one for every single day of the year and then some. Years and years and years.
Didn't know someone holds that record, but learn something new every single day. That's going to do it for us. I'm back here for the news at 11, so please join us for that. Meantime, we're going to send things over to Fred Rogan tonight. He's got the latest with the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark.
All right, so how do you feel about people sleeping overnight at your house? People you don't know. People that don't want you there. Welcome in on Labor Day. Summer's officially over, but it's still hot, and some folks in Indio are hot. By a vote of 2-1 by the Planning Commission, Indio is getting a new Walmart gas station by the 10 freeway. Seems like good news, unless you feel like there's too many gas stations in Indio already. Walmart's lawyer argues the spot near the freeway sees tens of thousands of cars a day, so it's ideal. The city says there's still room, gas station-wise, compared to the national average. Chairperson of the committee quipped, "Nobody's waiting for gas stations," adding there's plenty more of us lined up for EV chargers. City also studying whether they should tweak their rules on building more of those stations. Contributors tonight, Jill Marie Plaza and Brian Harnick. Okay, Brian, what do you think? Can you have too many gas stations?
Hey, this is all market driven, and the city's got to work on actual data, not emotions. So, you know, the reality is that we're car dependent, we're gas dependent, we're not fully electric, and as long as there's need, Walmart is not dumb. They're doing it to make money because there's demand. Jill, what about you?
Brian, I'm right with you. I think you can't crush capitalism. You can't say you can't have a gas station because of A, B, or C. It's the free market. You have to allow the free market to run.
I would agree with that. Are environmental concerns like pollution a major concern here, or, Jill, is economic development the key?
This is a really, it can go either way. I think we have to be conscious of the environment, of course, but we also have to be cognizant of economic development and find a nice balance to that in each of the cities.
Yeah, Brian, what do you think about that?
Hey, we all want to breathe clean air, but the reality is that most of our electricity comes from fossil fuels. That's just the reality. It comes from natural gas. That's the reality. Electric vehicles are heavy. They're chewing up the road. Tires are wearing out. Batteries are environmental disasters. There's no easy fix. Let's not be emotional. Let's be factual. Jill's right. Let the free market rule.
The quip about EV chargers having way longer lines than gas pumps. All right, do you think a city like Indio should be pushing for more electric infrastructure instead of another gas station, Brian?
You know, the city of Indio knows what they're doing. They have a really good council. They got great staff. They're going to study it. It's not for them to impose it. If we need more EV stations and they got to change their rules, they will. We are one little tiny piece here in the Coachella Valley of a huge, huge pie. Let's not micromanage it. Let's have faith in our elected leaders. Let's have faith in our city staff. They know what they're doing. They get the facts. I'm all for them making the right call.
All right, how much money do you have to make to have the perfect salary? Turns out regular folks think the perfect salary to feel content is around $74,000 a year. Nice and steady, not flashy, just enough to feel comfy without worrying every month. But 1 in 5 say, they need a 6-figure income to enjoy their lifestyle. And here's the kicker. Half of the folks say our current pay doesn't cut it for the lifestyle we want, and about 24% are downright unhappy with what they're earning. So what are folks doing? They're on the move. Over a fourth have looked for a new job in the past few months, and many are still on the hunt. Still others are flirting with side hustles and say striking out on their own or small business feels like life looks just as good or even better than the old 9-to-5 gig. Jill, $74,000, the sweet spot for happiness. Why do so many folks still feel out of reach? And do you think $74,000 is realistic today?
I do think it's realistic. Of course, that's going to be contingent upon your lifestyle. I mean, if we're Bloomingdale's babies, we're obviously going to want a little bit more. If we can be happy in tiny homes and content with having a little less, and then you're just not going to need as much and you're going to be more satisfied. But I don't think we should put a limit on it and say everybody's at 74,000 and that's it and no more.
Brian?
Hey, I'm from New York City originally. You can't buy a parking spot for 74 grand in New York. It depends where you are. Your happiness is not dependent on how much money you make. If you take yourself wherever you go, there is no sweet spot. Live within your means. If you want more, you got to make more, but live within your means. Stop spending more than you have. It will end up ruining you and put you in real jeopardy. So again, you bring yourself wherever you go, Fred.
Yeah, I'll tell you, when you said it cost 74 grand to buy a parking spot in New York, when I read that this morning, I thought from LA, what, $74,000? Oh my God, how do you survive on $74,000 there? With half the country feeling underpaid, what do you think is more urgent? Pushing for higher pay or reinventing how we do things, Brian?
Well, I think it's not one or the other. It's got to be both. We have an economy where you got to reinvent to do things, to make yourself profitable. You know, prices always go up and income has to go up, but it's not just the running for the money, because you'll never be happy and you'll always want more. You gotta have that lifestyle, and ultimately you gotta have some balance. Just live within your means and life just gets better.
Jill, you want to wrap it up for 15 seconds?
Brian hit the nail on the head. Live within your means.
Okay. Here is something from viewer Grant. Grant has a good question about Acrisure Arena. Here's Grant's question. I wondered if you could find out why parking for a concert at Acrisure for a couple of hours costs $50 or more. It is outrageous after paying so much for the concert ticket itself. We can tell you parking prices have been reduced for hockey this year. Advanced purchase will be $20. Season ticket holders will pay only $10. Remember, that's for advanced purchases. Okay, so we reached out to Acrisure to find out about concerts, and they say yes, parking for concerts will be reduced, but there is no set amount because of different vendor needs. So no matter what you're there for, parking, in theory, we'll see, should cost less. Now the tale of Norco Prison, once a swanky resort, that's true. Then a Navy hospital, also true. Later a rehab center, that is correct. And it's finally closing in the fall of 2026 thanks to California's shrinking prison population. Governor says this will help the state save about $150 million a year. People in India are itching to bring back that old-time Norconian charm and give it a second life as a luxurious resort. But it won't be a cakewalk. The place needs serious asbestos remediation, repair to the Art Deco agriculture. People are worried about what will happen to the correctional staff who work there. City leaders say they're ready to step in and preserve its treasures instead of letting it fall into ruin. Brian, reviving the old resort worth the hefty costs or the hassle? What do you think?
It is not worth the hassle. Now that old resort is owned by the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Stay in your lane, bro. The Department of Corrections is not in the luxury home business, nor should government, or a luxury resort business, nor should government be. If they're not going to keep it as a prison, sell it. And like Jill said, let the free market determine what's best to be used. Jill, what do you think? Did you take a look at all the mess of that property, what it'll take? It's almost 100 years old. Jill, what are your thoughts?
Brian, I'm a sentimentalist at heart, and I love preserving our history. I'm all for, if again the free market will allow it, getting sponsorship and rebuilding and restoring the elegance that was, because it was beautiful in its heyday.
So one of the concerns here, the people that actually work at the prison. Now, if they're shutting down the prison, the people are going to be out of work. And if that is the case, Jill, then how can anybody in Norco say we want to save their jobs at the prison when there won't be a prison?
Well, that's going to happen either way, Fred. There's no way to get away from that. If you're going to close a prison and you've got sheriff's officials working the prison, the sheriff's officials have to be moved into other places to work. My wondering is, if Newsom's ruling that he did or that we elected to close prisons and change crime, now that that's gone bye-bye and you can actually go to prison for stealing for under $1,000, maybe we need to keep it.
Brian?
Well, Jill, you don't go to prison even if you do get nailed in those misdemeanors. That's a prison. It's different than the jail system. But, you know, here's the reality. That is political nonsense when of course we want to keep jobs. We don't want to lose anybody. If you're closing a prison because it doesn't make economic sense, you're going to have people in the workforce and you need to figure out where they can go. These are, for the most part, able-bodied men and women that work in the prisons, that want to work, that have a work ethic. They'll land on their feet. The unemployment rate is going down, except for those little teenagers because of minimum wage problems. But that's another story, Fred. No, you know what? They'll find work out there. I have faith. Make the right economic decision. Sounds like closing it's the right move.
Our good neighbors keep hitting it out of the park. On Friday, Kat in India was looking for a place to get her pup's teeth cleaned without anesthesia, and Mary came to the rescue. She says Dog Styles in Desert Hot Springs offers dog teeth cleaning without anesthesia. From their website, it looks like there are 2 different teeth services that you can book. Always the recommendations on this program are coming from members of our audience. The station and the program, if not vetted, are not endorsing any of these contractors. You do that. That's how you be a good neighbor. Cheryl in La Quinta is looking for a great gardener at a reasonable price. Who's got an idea? Jay in Cathedral City looking for a plumber or a handy person to replace a tub and surround in their bathroom. Philip Rancho Mirage asks this: can anybody recommend a dry cleaners that doesn't require taking out a second mortgage? Doris in Palm Desert wondering if anybody had experience dealing with a public adjuster for an insurance claim.
If you like something, we want to hear about it. If you don't like something, we want to hear about it. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com. Dazzle us if you dare.
I don't care. I'm not buying it unless I sleep in it.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
I want to show you something we found on our Good Neighborhood site on Facebook. Leon posted this. Take a look. Posted August 28th. You see the woman? She's got a hand, a doormat in her hand. Take down the lower third. Because that's not her doormat and that's not her door. Then she looked over and decided to take a pillow off the outdoor seating area, also not hers. Skipped off to her car, but if you look at the car, She's got a ton of stuff in there. She's been stealing from everywhere. Looks like it may not be her first rodeo. Leon just wants his mat and pillow back, but if those are stolen packages in her car, there are a lot more victims out there. If you recognize her, write to us at the show, desertdean@gmail.com. Never guess what home buyers are doing now. They're actually test driving homes by spending the night in them. The trend is becoming popular, especially for luxury properties, as it lets potential buyers get a real feel for the space before making a big commitment. It's like a sleepover, but with a serious purpose. Sellers are even offering these overnight stays to attract more serious buyers. It's a unique way to make sure a house feels like a home. Jill, what do you think about the idea of sleeping over in a possible new home?
No. I'm sorry. I don't want people in my home when I'm not here. If you're really interested in it, you can drive the neighborhood at night. There's other ways to see if the area is something that you're comfortable with. But no, you can't glamp in my home before you own it.
You know, it's interesting. Brian, I want to hear what you have to say. Jill, I'm with you, though. I got to be honest with you. Brian, what do you think?
I think this is the most ridiculous thing I've heard all day. I mean, my gosh, you don't make a home by sleeping in it. That's someone else's home. That's a house. You make a home when you live in that home and make it yours. Jill is spot on. Check the place out at night, on weekends, during the day, speak to neighbors, do your due diligence, have it inspected. But oh my God, walk in there, do it, see what it feels like. But sleeping over in someone else's house, that's ridiculous. Plus, as a lawyer, just think of the potential liability. Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Enough is enough. Let's just go make a good transaction, do your research, and go from there.
So you would never ask. Jan, Brian, you and Jan would never ask. We want to sleep in your house before we buy it. You wouldn't even suggest that.
I would not suggest that whatsoever. No, there's no way. And plus, that's someone else's home. That's not what I would want to create. That's not a home. That's staying in a hotel or a friend's house or couch surfing. No, that's not the way to buy a house. Yeah, please.
You know, and you're not trusting your own process either. You're not trusting your own instincts and research and your vibe and how you feel about the home when you're looking at them. You're going to know when you walk in a property, I like this, or you're going to be like, I'm out.
All right, we talk about the problems on Highway 74 a lot because they need to be talked about, but it's hard for people to understand the issues unless they see what's going on. So take a look. We have people here at the station that live up Highway 74. How about this? A head-on collision waiting to happen. There he goes, over a double yellow line. That is a head-on collision. It's not just up the mountain where people drive recklessly. The problems start at the bottom of the mountain as well. Our driver had the green light, move forward. Take a look at the black Mustang. It had a red light, but apparently the law doesn't apply. And they decide to turn even as the two cars entering that lane. That could have resulted in a serious accident. No matter where you drive, please try and think of the people around you because one stupid move could cost people lives. Next, a tough subject, but we have to talk about it.
Hey, riddle me this. What word is spelled incorrectly in every dictionary?
New riddles. Each week, Amaya D'Souza, a senior at Palm Desert High School, joins the program to talk about things that affect her and her community. Tonight, it's a tough one. Let's welcome Amaya, our community reporter. Amaya, as always, welcome back.
Thank you. It's obviously great to be back.
Okay, and you brought a friend this week.
Yeah, so right next to me is Ethan Lee. He is one of my longest friends in high school and in middle school.
Okay.
And we work together in our student body. So he is our student body president, and then I'm our senior class president.
Okay, and why is he here today?
So in case the community is not aware, this is officially the end of August, and next September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And one of our local organizations, Desi Strong Foundation, is challenging our community to #GoGold. You don't have to be a school to participate. You can be a business, you can be a sports team, and obviously we are a high school, and we wanted to work and give back and fundraise. And obviously you don't have to fundraise. You can simply wear gold. You can shout them out on Instagram. You can donate money. But we are hosting a coin wars between our classes. So we're hosting a little friendly school competition. And the reason why this was such a big and important decision for us to do as a school is because childhood cancer awareness is incredibly personal to Palm Desert High School, and more so to the class 2026. So we're both seniors, and one of our peers and Ethan's best friend was, recently diagnosed with cancer. So
at Palm Desert High School, we've had 2 students diagnosed with some form of cancer. Number one, the main friend that we're talking about is one of my closest friends, Alexander Yang. He is currently receiving special treatment out in Philadelphia. And he was diagnosed with T-cell lymphoma, and that has been a plague on him since sophomore year of high school. So he's already missed sophomore year, he's missed pretty much all of junior year, and we'll see how much he'll miss of senior year as well. But it's been very troubling on him. Childhood cancer is such a devastating thing. He went from worrying about an AP test to figuring out just how is he going to react to the chemotherapy, how is he going to react to the medication that he needs to continue surviving and thriving. So.
yeah, and I feel like it's kind of that switch of a switch, really, where it makes me kind of contemplate, like, wow, like I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk about here the next week, or how I'm going to do on my statistics test next Wednesday, and it just kind of makes you stop and realize how fortunate you are to be worrying about things like that.
You know, when we have people that go through this, people in our lives, it doesn't matter what age, but you guys are dealing with it now at Palm Desert High School, it makes us reassess who we are and where we are in life. And it really gives us an opportunity to focus on what's important. There's a lot of noise, and you guys know that because you're in high school. There's a lot of noise from everywhere. But what you're doing and this fundraiser is so wonderful. And do their parents know you're doing the fundraiser?
Yes, and we actually were talking with Alex before this, and I know Ethan was just talking with Alex, asking about like personal experiences with it and how it's personally affected with him. So I'm really excited for him to see this. He's, again, currently in Philadelphia, and I can't wait to send him this, but.
Well, you know what? Our fingers are crossed. Our best wishes go out to him. Thank you for coming down tonight.
Of course.
It wasn't scary, was it? You good?
I feel great.
Okay, you did really well.
Thank you.
Amaya, I'll see you next week.
Of course. Thank you, Fred.
Okay. And your daily dose of cuteness when we return.
They say dogs are a man's best friend, but at NBC Palm Springs, we're a dog's best choice for news. Apologies to our competitors, but even your dogs know who leads the pack in news.
Night after night, discover the unique stories that set our valley apart. Together, we're going to find inspiration and foster connections that strengthen the fabric of our community.
You're out and about and you see things.
When you do, see it, shoot it, and send it.
Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
What word is spelled incorrectly in every dictionary? Incorrectly.
Okay, comments tonight about handwriting. Going the way of the Pony Express, Pete wrote us to say vote mail-in ballots most have both print and signed cursive name. He points out the Constitution is in cursive writing. Good Neighbor has what appears to be a haunted toilet. She told us about it Thursday. Patricia has your solution. Lift top, it heavy, pull little armette top up, replace lid, then call plumber and get it fixed. About our Prop 50 debate last week, this from Steve, who says he's an old school Chicago Democrat. That being said, I have seen no evidence of political commentary on your program. Steve Sanchez was objective and informative. Had a few words for the Desert Democrats as well. My opinion of Desert Democrats is they love to be called liberal, but they are certainly far from liberal when it comes to anything they disagree with. Now, before you write, that is Steve's opinion, not the show's. Steve is allowed to have his opinion, as are you. All right, we're going to get to work because we go 24/7. Go to the website, click on the show page, The Rogan Report. Content from tonight's show is up there, from past shows as well. Interesting development for the city of Coachella. We'll have that tomorrow. Wheel of Fortune is next.